My mom is Opal Benson. My sister is Flora Benson. It really started specifically with my sister because she was to follow us home in her car and she turned off. And we went back to get her and found her just sitting in the middle of the street, not moving. Something very big happened, a fire at my mother's apartment, and that was April 3rd, my daughter's birthday, 2 years ago. And it was then that we began to see some things were not happening as they should. It was much later that I found out that she had been driving without car insurance for 6 months at least. And her home got repossessed because she wasn't paying the note, and just all kinds of very small things that I wouldn't normally even check on. I began to see that I really did need help caring for them both. In the beginning, I thought, I don't really need any help. I will, just, pay their bills and you'll be fine. They'll be fine. As a matter of fact, they'll probably get better. We gotta, just being in denial. And the help was extremely needed, even before I recognized the need. They said, how about memory care, home solutions? Try them, talk to them, and they will help. I believe my first contact really was Steve Miskovic.
My primary role is to work with the families that are caregiving for loved ones with Alzheimer's disease, dementia, or any type of cognitive impairment. It's very individualized and specific to that particular family. Sandra's family, her mom and sister, had a fire at one of their apartments. If we could have been involved earlier on, we might have been able to help them prevent that by recommending disconnecting the stove at that time or taking the stove knobs off if they really weren't cooking much. Being involved like that can really help that family ensure their safety.
They really were helpful in ways that family, friends, they don't understand what you go through as a caregiver. Steve was on top of all of that, and he met the needs before I even knew they were there.
When somebody from Memory Care Home Solutions goes into the home, they're giving many, many strategies that the person with Alzheimer's needs to, the family who's caring for the person with Alzheimer's needs to implement. And then we are actually tracking, we're calling them up and finding out how have you been able to implement the changes that we've recommended. And what we have found is that about 75% of the changes that we recommend are in fact implemented. So that's fantastic. That means that now they're sending their loved one to adult daycare. Now they're going out for lunch to take care of themselves. Now they have safety locks on their doors. Now there's a chime so that when the person leaves, they know and they're alerted to that fact. So it's very effective in terms of actual strategies that are being implemented by the family. And I think a huge reason for that is we don't just give people kind of a to-do checklist of what they need to do. We actually take care of that for them when they come home.
I've had a dementia practice in St. Louis for over 20 years, and I've referred directly some of my patients to Memory Care Home Solutions, and unequivocally they've been a wonderful organization, very personal, and have helped our families extend their time at home and improve quality of life with our caregivers and our patients. Memory Care Home Solutions from the very beginning has networked with researchers at Washington University and followed their outcomes very closely. The outcomes that we think are important for care for the demented individual at home can include caregiver stress, decreasing financial burden, issues related to contact with physicians, trips to emergency room, phone calls to physicians, 911 calls, and across the board in all of these areas, they've shown improvement in all these parameters.
Memory Care Home Solutions has gone from serving 100 people to over 3,500 people, and there's no way that we could have done this without the devotion and the talent and the guidance of so many incredible people. I am personally so grateful. I'm professionally so honored, and I thank them all.
Everybody that we serve is subsidized in one way or another. So it costs us on the average of about $1,000 per family that we work with. If a family can afford to pay our services, we only charge them $200, and that's for a whole year of services. So in essence, everybody is getting some type of a scholarship, but the majority of the people don't even pay the $200. So we serve, the majority of our folks live in North City, North County, and some of the more underserved areas of the metro area.
I think that Memory Care Home Solutions could benefit from monetary contributions, which I would love to give, and so I'm waiting to win the lottery. Though I'm not playing.
Alzheimer's disease and related disorders are very difficult. The impact that they make on our patients and families is huge, and it's overwhelming. And it literally takes a village to help care for an individual and the family through this process. So I would ask everybody to realize that sooner or later, if they haven't been faced with this disease, they will. And we all need to pitch in and help out in this situation and assisting our patients and caregivers.
There are 120,000 Missourians who are experiencing this, and there are 250,000 people who are caring for them. Let's help them.